Okay, now you see this is a dictionary type and you have a key and value. Okay, now what is the A value? 10, B 20, C 30. Okay, and 1 minute. Okay, sorry guys, I got some message. I was checking that. Okay, now what we'll do is now we'll play around with uh, uh, we'll create a data frame. Okay, data frame. Okay, data frame is nothing but when your data represents like a row and columns. Okay, so I'll use a something called dates. Okay, I'll create a variable called dates. Okay, equals pd dot, I have something called date range function. Okay, date range function. I will use the date range function. Okay, first sorry, I need to use the format here. Okay, first is year 2025. Then what is the date today? Hmm, month 08, right? 08, and then today is what? 18th. Okay, this is my date, current date. Okay, comma, and then I need to specify my period. Okay, so how long I want to use this? So you have a something called periods. Okay, I'll say 6 years. Okay, 6 years. Let me run and show you the example here. Okay, so I'll run dates and then control enter. Now you see I have 6 different dates. Okay, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so this is one example, guys. Okay, so this is one of the examples where you can play around with all these features. Okay, I'll just copy this. Okay, I don't want to type again. I'll show you some few examples. Okay, so I have this date. uh, okay, I'll say 20. So I'll say dates, control enter. Okay, so you can see from today it has added 20 dates. Okay, which comes to close to 6th, 9th, next month, September 6th. Okay, these are all just an example, guys. Okay, so this is for learning. Okay, this is for learning. Okay, so if you get some hands-on with all those things, right, it will be easy for you to learn. Okay, now we'll learn about data frames. Okay, creating a data frame. I know, see, in real time we're gonna work with ready-made data. Okay, so most of the data you will find is in a format of data frame in a row and column. But there are some instances where you will get your data in an unstructured format. Okay, then you have to convert the data into a data frame, and then you have to populate the data, and then you will run analysis on that data. So how do we do that? Okay, so I'll just comment here, create your data frame. Okay, data frame columns. So what I'll do is first import uh, pandas has pd pd, and then I'll say pd dot data data frame. Yeah. So you have to use this function. Okay. So always function will have open and close braces. Okay. So what is next? I want to we learned about what is that called? A dictionary type data, right? So dictionary type, how do we initialize the dictionary? With a curly braces. Okay. And first I'll write name colon, sorry, it has to be in quotation. Okay. Colon, I'll give some names. Okay. And all these names will go in a square bracket and close bracket. So I'll just pick three names. Okay. Bob, comma, I'll say Sam, comma, another one. I'll take random John. Okay. So I have three names. Okay. Now I have to separate this with another column. So I'll put a column here. Okay. Now I'll say another column called marks. Okay. Marks colon, colon will separate. Okay. When you want to define your column heading, you have to separate with a colon. Okay. Two colons. And now square bracket, same thing. Inside that I'll add some, how many users we have? Three. So I'll add some number 75 comma 89 comma 98. Okay. And then I have to close the curly braces. Okay. And then I have to use the plain braces. Okay. So you have to look at the corresponding. Okay. See here curly braces, here curly, sorry, plain braces. Inside that curly, and here curly. Okay. Just make sure, if you, even if you don't put, it will throw an error. Okay. So if I run this, you'll see yourself. Okay. So it will point you to this point. Okay. Something is missing. Just go and add the curly braces. Okay. And then you run it, and then you'll see your data frame. Okay. This is called a data frame. When your data is in the form of columns and rows, we called in Python, this is a data frame. Okay. Clear, guys? Now we are getting into code. Okay. Now I want to import a file. Okay. Say for example, I have a CSV or Excel file. Okay. I'll take CSV file. Okay. So first let me see what CSV file I have. Okay. I have one file called CSV. So I'll go to File Explorer. Okay. And my PC. My PC, and then I'll go inside users, and this is my account administrator, and I'll paste it in my, okay, it is called data.csv file. Okay, whenever you have your file in your current location where Python is running, okay, you don't have to give any uh, UNC path. Okay. Okay, so I'll say import pandas as pd. Okay, next line I'll say pd dot, okay, or else I'll store in some variable. So I'll create a variable called data frame, df. Okay, in short, data frame is equals pd. Okay, pd is your short form or alias name for pandas. Pd dot, okay, and then you get a drop down here. Okay, then I'll say read. Okay. Uh, 1 minute. df.pd pandas pd dot read. Yeah, re. Okay. So what is the file format I have? CSV file. So I have to use read underscore CSV. Okay, and then it's a function. Okay, so now I have to mention the file name. Okay, what is my file name? Since Python is running at my default location, I'll say data.csv file. Okay, so this is my file name which I just copied just now. I'll run it. Okay, no error. Okay, now so I want to take a glance of first 5 rows. Okay, I'll say df dot head. Okay, you type df.head and run it, you'll see your data. See, this is your data in the format of data frame. Okay, so what are the columns I have? I have something called numbers, a column name city, colors reported, shape reported, state, and some time frame. Okay, so time frame is in the form of, you have to see what is the format. Okay, so it is a date and time. Okay, and if you see date, this is month, day, and year. Okay, yeah, month, day, and year. Okay, and this one is categorical data. Okay, now what is this NaN stands for? NaN stands for not a number. Okay, something missing. Whoever has added this number in Excel, he has intentionally left this. Okay, so that is the reason you get NaN. Okay, not a number. Okay, we'll see how, and this is a float number. You can see 1234566.0, some random number. Okay, so this is first uh, glance of your top, sorry, not top, glance of first 5 rows. Okay, same thing if you want to see, if you want to see more than here, I see four, sorry, I see four, sorry, 5 rows here, right? It's, and you can see the index starts from 0 till 4. Okay, what if you want to see 10 rows? Okay, inside that head you can write 10 and then run it. Okay, now you see it starts from 0 to 9. Okay, so you have 10 data rows here, and you can see how your data is looking like. Clear, guys? So this is one, this is a head. Head means top, the first few rows. Okay, what if you want to see the last rows? Okay, you will say df dot tail. Okay, tail is a function which will read the last rows. Okay, you see how many rows are there? 30. 0 to 30, 31 rows are there. Okay, what if you want to see the last 10 rows? You will say df dot tail, within bracket you can say 10. Okay, 10 rows, you will see 10 rows. Okay, basics. Now if you want to see how many rows and columns we have in our data frame in a sheet or in a Excel sheet or CSV file, okay, you can use something called df dot shape. Okay, shape will give you the rows and columns. The first point you see here, rows, and there are 6 columns. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now if you want to see the data type, what are the data types I have in this file? You can say df dot info function. Okay, info function, enter. Okay, now here you have to spend some time to understand. Okay, what is the first one? It says class pandas data frame. Okay, because it is in the rows and columns, the type of this data is data frame. And then next point, it says range index. Okay, how many rows and columns you have? So we have 31 entries. Okay, and you can see 30 is there. Why 31 is not there? Because the index starts from 0. Okay, and in the next column it shows data columns. How many columns we have? Six. What are those? Number, city, color, shape, state, time. Okay, now here you can see the other information, vital information we can see is about the data type. Okay, so it says non-null. Okay, now you see the total rows are 31. Okay, but you see some of the rows I'm seeing only 11, some of the rows I'm seeing 29, some of the rows I see 26. What is happening here? Okay, so there are some missing data. If all rows are unique, okay, in all the rows, then you will see 31. Okay, so time is 31. Okay, so and city is 31. Rest all data is missing. Okay, these type of data are common when you work with real-time scenarios. Okay, there are some treatment that you have to apply on your data set to um, treat the missing values and all those. Okay, and on the extreme right you see it says D type. What is D type? Data type. Okay, so the first column that we see, it is a float value. Okay, and the second one is object. Okay, so we learned about categorical, right? Categorical and quantitative. Quantitative, qualitative. Okay, quantitative, something you can measure. Okay, something measure, or we can say that as a numeric data. Okay, so this one we can say quantitative data. This is qualitative data. This is also qualitative. This is also qualitative, and this is something you can measure. So we'll say quantitative data. Though it is in a format of day and the timestamp, you can format this data in a proper format, or you can create a separate. Okay, time is there. You can, instead of time, you can say date, and then you can take this part and add in a new column. Okay, sometimes you have to do all those things to treat your data. Okay, so this is one of the uh, uh, few commands that you can use, one line commands. Okay, now we'll see the other command called describe. Okay, what does the describe function do? Describe will give you this statistical value, okay, about, and it works only on the numeric data. Okay, this one and this one time. Okay, rest it will not work because these are all qualitative data, categorical. It doesn't know how to compute city reported and shape reported and all this. He doesn't know Python. Okay, so I'll run this. Okay, now you can see it has just run on the numbers because it doesn't know the time data type. Okay, it is a mix of both date and time, so it doesn't know. So you have to separate this to treat the data. Okay, now you, let's understand. So how many counts we have? 26 counts. Okay, which one is that number? Okay, if you see the column name here, this is, since it is a float type, so the describe method has performed a numerical computation on only this column. Okay, rest it doesn't understand because rest are object. You can see this is also object, the time. Okay, but when we see this data, you know, this is a date and timestamp, but Python understands, since it is not clear in a clear format, so it doesn't understand, so it treats this data as a object. Okay, so when we run this describe method, it will compute only the number. Okay, so in number, how many values are there? Rows are there? 26. Okay, what is the average? Okay, what it does, it sums up all the number divided by 26, and this is the mean. Okay, what is the standard deviation? 31794. What is the minimum value in this one? What is the minimum value here? Okay, so minimum value is 876. What is the maximum value? Maximum value is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and what is the 25th percentile of this data type? Okay, I mean 25th percent of the entire data set is 5709. Okay, it calculates and it does the calculation automatically. What is the 50 percentile? 7654. Okay, 75 percentile is 7654, some random number. Okay, so this describe method will do a statistical imputation. it will do a statistical imputation. Okay. Now if you want to find the minimum and maximum number here, you can do the other functions also. Say for example df dot min. Okay, min is minimum function. Okay, now you see it has not done anything. Okay, you have to tell him which column you want to do. See, it has already, it says not supported between float and string, so it doesn't understand the categorical data. Okay, Python doesn't understand, you have to convert them. Okay, if you want to explicitly say I want to do on certain column, then you have to use a square bracket, and then inside that you have to say number. Okay, number is not defined, number. Okay, I have to put it in quotation. Okay, always remember in quotation. Quotes, single quotes or double quotes will work. Okay, so you can see the minimum numbers 876. If you match here 876. Okay, same thing if you copy. Okay, instead of min you can say max. Okay, max. Okay, so max is 1 2 3 4 5, you can see here. Okay, so you can do individually also. Okay, and if you want to see the location, okay, if you want to check the location of specific uh, rows, okay, how do you do that? You will say df dot I loc. Okay, I location, I stand for index location, and then square bracket, this one is square bracket. Okay, and then you will say 0 colon 3. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now you see what it is doing is 03 means from 0 index, show me the 3 records. Okay, 0 1 and 3. Okay, 1 2 3 actually, but it starts the index from 0, so this is how it shows. Okay, what if you want to do 0 colon 2. Okay, now you see what is happening is 0 2. Okay, now it is picking up the first and second column. Okay, now how do you know this is second column? Okay, you can add one row and you can say df dot columns. Okay, now you see the first is number city. Okay, what did I type? 0 and 2. This is 0. Okay, 1 2. Okay, 0 to from 0 to 2, 1 2. Okay, it will take column as 1 and 2. Okay, from 0. So it is showing all the data. Okay, so you can try all these use cases, guys. Okay, I'll do one more.
One second, Surin. Sorry to interrupt. Just I location 0 to 3. I didn't understand the 0 part.
Okay, now what is the 0 here? If you see here, um, 1 minute, I'll just add a new df dot, say I'll say head. Okay, now you see this is my data. Okay, the first 5 columns, sorry, first 5 rows. Now you see the left hand side, what is this? Index. So who builds this? Python. Okay, always the index starts from 0. Okay, now I said 0 colon 3. Okay, what it do is 0, what this is 0 2 3. Okay, now you see when I said 0 2 3, I'll remove this one. 1 minute. See 0, this one first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Second one is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the next one is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay. I'm displaying only these three. What if I want to add fourth one also? I'll say 0 to 4. Understood?
Okay, so basically, yeah, so basically 0 is the index of the
Starting number.
starting number, and 4 is the basically number of line items
Yes,
want to
rows.
display. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
okay,
Okay. It will
good.
not start with 1. Okay. Always remember, if you give 1, it will always uh, exclude this one. I'll show you. See, the first one is missing now. Okay.
Mm,
Sometimes
yes,
if this data is very important for your analysis and if it is missing with some crucial number, what happens? Then you will miss it.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So always play with different values here and then you'll get an idea. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to share this and data so you can make use of it. Okay. Now, what is the, yeah, this one also we have seen. Okay. This is the first part that you see, this resembles the rows. Okay. And this resembles your columns. Okay. For example, how many columns I have? One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, so I have six. If I say six here, 0 to 6, it will include everything here. Okay, okay, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all six value. Okay, so this is how you can play around. Okay, and if you want to start from second one city and all, you can say here instead of 0, you can say 2. Okay, now you see here it started from here. Okay, 2. Okay, 0, 1, 2. So 2 is to 6. Okay, so last one, what is the last one? Time. So it has included time, state, shape reported and color reported. Okay, ilog function is used for index location. Okay, I'll just save it. Index location and head, okay. And also, if you guys want to uh, change the column or something, right, you can do that also. Okay, with iloc also you can do it. Okay, for example, I'll just copy this one for an example. I'll just run this, control enter. Okay, so here what else we have? 1, 2, I have 0 to 4. Okay, so it is showing all columns. Okay, all columns, but I want to see time. It is showing as a combination of date and timestamp. Okay, if I want to change it to something called okay, I'll try this one. Mm, 0 colon uh, not 0, 1 minute, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of 6. Okay, now I'm getting only time. Okay, now if I want to add something a meaningful column for this name instead of time. I want to add date plus time stamp. 1 minute. Too many indexers. Okay. Uh, 5:6. Okay, 1 minute. I'll try something else. 0:6. Location based index can have integer slice starting included. Zero of I think this has been depreciated. I'll check this. Okay. So when we come across with changing the headings, right, you can do with the data frame. I mean, pandas also. With ilogs, I did this long back, but maybe something has changed. But I'll get that in our next class when we head with what do you call with data manipulation. Okay, so this is the basics that we have to play around and uh, uh, work on it. Okay, now I'll show you one more example. Say for example I have data set. Okay, for example I'll just open some sample data set. If I have, okay, now I'll just accept the license agreement, close. Okay, now I have this uh, sample data. Okay, some random sample which I have already downloaded from a internet. Okay, now I have this data. So it has something country, year, sex, age. Then you have suicides. Okay, population, how many suicides, what every year. Okay, so it has some statistics and country wise. Okay, so GDP, GDP generation and all these things are there. Okay, so I want see sometimes you want to just copy and get going with your data set. Okay, how do you do that? So you can select your data, say copy. Okay, you don't need to read. Okay, I'll just minimize for now. And how do you do that? Okay, you can say import pandas as pd pd. Okay, I'll create another data frame called uh, suicide. Okay, some data frame equals pd dot, I'll say read clipboard. The first function you see at the top, what is clipboard? Clipboard is a function in Windows. Whatever you copy, any text, notepad, browser, or anywhere, it stores temporarily in a clipboard. Okay, until you restart your PC, that gets erased. Okay, so I want to use clipboard. Okay, you don't have to copy paste anything. Just run a clipboard and then you run it. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now if I want to see the data, I can say suicide. Okay, and then control enter. You see, whatever the data we were just looking in Excel, I have it here. This is a very good feature of pandas. Okay, so there are a lot of tricks, okay, in pandas that you can play around. Okay, so temporarily you can see how many rows, 27,820. See, very huge data set. Okay, now if I want to see the info, what I can do is suicide dot info. Okay, info is the function that will give you the statistics, not the static, about the information about the data set. Okay, so what is the data type here? Okay, you have object, int, object, float, object, int, blah blah blah. Okay, and these are all the column names. Okay, and these are the rows. How many entries are there? 27, 820, and the column, the row starts from 0 index. Okay, okay, if I want to see suicide dot head, okay, I'll say enter. This is my data frame. Okay, same thing that we were looking at in our Excel. Okay, first 5 columns it will populate. Okay, so you can use the clipboard feature also. If you are working temporarily some data, that is, you don't need to save it, but after you can do it using a clipboard function. Okay, I generally do it a clipboard if it is not required to save it. Okay, what if you want to save the same data? Okay, what if you want to save the same data? Okay, you can say suicide dot, you have a function called to. Okay, now you see you have a clipboard to CSV, and then you have to give a name or location where you want to save. In my case, I'll say suicide data. Okay, suicide data dot CSV. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now it is saved. Okay, where? In my location here. Okay, see suicide data dot CSV. Okay, what is the file says? 2804 KB. Okay, very small file only. Okay, you can open it and check whether whatever you copied, does it include or not. See, same thing, duplication of 2 files. So you have a very good manipulation with pandas. You can do a lot of things. Okay, basics you have to start one by one. Clear, guys? Okay, now what I'll do is
Yes, sir.
I will, okay, I'll share these 2 files to you, the CSV file and the data file. I want you to tomorrow at least spend some time, okay, before coming to class, at least 20 minutes, not more than. See, only thing is you have to copy that file in your user location, or if you're saving some other location, you have to give a path here, okay? So for example, where is read CSV? Describe here. Okay. Here you have to say the location C colon slash slash. Okay. Then you have to give tools. Okay. Wherever you're storing all those things, you have to give the location. Okay. And then you have to point to that data.csv file. Okay, now I'll save this. Okay, this is just a starting, guys. Okay, so we have numpy, we have matplotlib, we have cborn, so we have a lot of data to practice. Okay, so it comes only by practice. Give me a second, I will copy this file uh, to you guys. 1 minute. Okay, so I have saved these 2 files. First you save it on your personal laptop. Okay, and now I am sharing you the pandas basic file. Okay, uh, pandas. Okay, I've shared, you save it in some location in your laptop. Okay, so when you get time, please practice. Okay, this comes only by practice. If you just listen, you'll not get anything. Okay, it comes by practice. And see, we're going to work with the different data sets. Okay, so this is just a sample. We'll go to the Kaggle and we'll download some of the famous data sets that we have there. Okay, which is freely available. You don't have to pay anything. Kaggle is free, and you can download any data sets for your learning purpose. Okay, so what's the time now? 10, 9, okay, 9:37. We are on top of the hour, guys. So we will close this session. Tomorrow sharp 8:30. We will join again. Okay. And Saib, you can upload the files in the YouTube channel, and then let them know if it is uploaded. And those who missed today, they can watch it tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you, guys, for joining. We'll regroup again tomorrow. Okay. Bye, guys. Good night.